As a professional in the exercise and health industry, it is my job, my duty to push the boundaries of what we view fitness of and how we utilize exercise so that it can reach its full potential. In fact, pioneering different ways to utilize fitness is essentially the job of the professional. And in this way, I've created these theories, these ways of thinking to increase our view and our application of exercise and fitness as a whole, as in a way of improving health. Now, to talk about a little bit more practical things, less theory, less philosophy, we're going to talk about um, exercise prescription and how we should use exercise to kind of elevate the potential of the people accessing it. So, to do this, or when selecting an exercise, either for yourself, um, what is going to be a good exercise for you, what should you try first, is this a safe exercise, or if you are the professional, thinking, why should I prescribe this exercise to my client? What should I look at to make sure this is a sound prescription and it is safe as well as effective? So when we're taking these things into consideration, we're going to look at um, the prerequisite to the exercise. Every exercise has a prerequisite. Knowing what it is very important to making it safe and effective. Now, if we're going to take a look at a push-up, now if a person does not have the right prerequisites, let's say of the back of the upper arm or the tricep area, then there will be a compensation. This compensation will happen at the cost of the mechanics of the exercise. We can say that this cost of the mechanics will increase more wear on the joint and strain on the muscle. This is bad because this will ultimately take away from the health of the individual. We can also say if we push the intensity of this exercise, then we will see quite quickly that there is an injury that will result in this increased intensity. So now understanding what the prerequisites are. Now, we generally use very strong standards of safety that are used in the mechanical or the mechanics of a movement. However, these are really guidelines, and to kind of make exercise your art, you're going to have to understand them more completely. It's not particularly just about the standard, but it is how you utilize the standard to create safety. Now, this being said, when we find what the exercise level of the person that we're using, generally this is the purpose of an assessment, um, I think really we identify too strongly based on the regulation versus the actual individual that we're working with, and we can either overly identify with making things rigid and not lifelike by making it very sterile and safe, or we can ignore this too much and create strong compensations without even noticing that there are compensations. And these are the very important parts of picking the right exercise. Now, when you strongly identify what the limiting factor of the exercise is, it's best to then isolate the limiting factor, break it down into its components. Is it the flexibility of the muscle? Is it the style of movement of the muscle? Is it the way the person is thinking about the movement? Is it an injury that previously happened? Is it scar tissue? Is it a fear of movement? Is it just a general lack of awareness of how the movement is integrated into the exercise? These things must be addressed in that way of picking a safe but effective exercise. And when we can truly utilize these skills, and how to do that is a whole different story entirely. But these are kind of the working models with that safe but effective style of exercise. And as a person just picking an exercise from YouTube or from a video, it is very important to know that the exercise is only a template, and really it's understanding how your body moves that makes it safe or not safe. So if you don't have this skill or this ability, it's very important to make sure you consult with an exercise professional that has these standards in their mind and in their idea of exercise prescription. Just because you can jog doesn't mean jogging is the best thing for you. Just because your end outcome is losing weight doesn't mean high intensity is the best thing for you, because injury can happen way before you reach your goal, and that then becomes your limiting factor. So keeping this in mind when selecting an exercise is very important. And as always, you can email in your questions, and I'll gladly delve deeper into those concepts. Thank you very much.